Okay. Good morning to all. Welcome back for another video session on theory of firm and perfect market computation. See, due to some technical error yesterday in the last few minutes, there is a problem with the topic, and by recalling some of the topic, then we'll continue today's session. See, in the last class we got in a discussion not only the topic called the firm and industry, not only the term called market, and we are touched the point called the classification of markets. After the classification, we enter to the topic called revenue and the types of revenue, right? So coming to the types of revenue, there are three types of revenues are there. So coming to the first one, total revenue, average revenue, marginal revenue. So if those three revenues are there, at the same time we must understand the deeper side, the rest topic of today's situation, then that is called perfect market computation. See, before understanding what the perfect market computation, you understood the word called already what the market is. Okay. At the same time, to understand the perfect market computation, same time you need to understand the term called what is computation, or who can be called as a competitor. Okay, so you cannot call everyone as a competitor. You cannot call fighting in a roadside. That is not a competition, neither competitors. You must understand the basic term. Then that is called who can be called as a competitor. Okay. So not to call anyone as a competitor, you must understand what is competition and who can be called as competitor. Now coming to the first one, competitor. A competitor is a person who concerns with the same line of business. Then we can call it as a competitor. For automobile industry, for another automobile industry can be called as a competitor. Okay, we cannot take the cosmetics and automobiles are the competitors. They are the completely differentiated competition. So, competition and the competitor, they are closely related, and moreover, if a competitor concerns the same line of an activity, same line of a business, same branch of industry, then that is called a competitor. Clear? Likewise, for a PU student, another PU student is a competitor if he comes under the same branch called commerce branch or a science branch or arts branch or something. We cannot take a 12th student to LKG or 5th or 6th standard student as a competitor. You cannot compare your results with LKG student or 10th student or 5th class student or degree or master degree students. So you have to compare with your own performance, you have to compare with the performance of with the same line of an activity. Then we can call it as a competitor. And coming to the computation, it's an act of competitors between the products, prices, and the different elements. Okay. Now coming to the point, you must understand perfect market competition. Yesterday we had a discussion of this topic, so something went wrong and things or disconnected. Now coming to the first one, when we classify the entire markets, we made into three broad classification on the basis of first one on time, next one on the basis of the point called place, and the third one is about on the degree of competition or the number of competitors in the market. So on the degree of competition or on the number of competitors, we have divided into two types of markets. First one is called perfect market competition or perfect competitive market. Second one is about imperfect market competition. In the imperfect, again it is classified under four important classification. So coming to the first one, monopoly. Second one, duopoly. Third one, oligopoly, and the fourth one monopolistic. Now coming to the first one, monopoly. In the brief, I just wanted to discuss these topics because we need to discuss about the perfect market competition. To understand the perfect, at the same time, you must understand the imperfect competition too. Okay. If that is the case, then door close. Then coming to the first one, monopoly. Monopoly. There are two terms. Mono means a single, poly means a seller. It's a market competition deals with the single seller, and buyers will be many, but sellers will be one. That kind of a market is called monopoly market, like RBI. Like printing and publishing of currency notes in India, we got RBI. Likewise, railway. Okay, these are the two so elements will come under the monopoly market at present situation is concerned. Okay, so when it comes to the duopoly, duo means two, poly means a seller. If the market situation has been completed with the only two sellers, many buyers, then that kind of a market competition we can call them as a duopoly market, where again there are different types of goods and services there, but the supplier will be only two. Oligopoly means few large sellers. So oligo means few, poly means a seller. Oligopoly stands few sellers market. It means a market is filled with the few sellers, but they are completing complete market supply. I have a complete control over the market supply. Then that is called oligopoly market, like telecommunication sector. So in India we have a tele service providers like Airtel, Jio is there, okay, Vodafone is there. Some other technical service providers are there who are controlling more around 130, including BSN. Okay, so they are controlling some around 130 plus crores of population in India. Okay, there are a few sellers are there, but they are controlling complete market supply. They are known as the giant players of the market. Then that is called oligopoly market. Are you clear? And the monopolistic, then it means n number of sellers and buyers who buy and sell differentiated goods and all. The other thing we'll discuss on later on. So now coming to the word called, if these are the classification has been done on the imperfect market, then what do you mean by perfect market? Okay. Now coming to the point, is it audible to everyone? Perfect market competition is a type of market situation where there is existence of large number of buyers and sellers, who buy and sell homogeneous goods for uniform price. So this is a meaning where we can give to the term called perfect market competition. Perfect market competition is a type of market situation. It's a one type of a market situation, like one type of a market on the classification or degree of competition. It's a situation where there is the existence of a large number of buyers and sellers who buy and sell. It means there is an economic activity, buy and sell homogeneous goods for uniform prices. Then what is homogeneous? Heterogeneous in the sense, let me give a clue. Okay, heterogeneous means different goods. Homogeneous in the sense which have a same nature, which have a same quantity, quality, size, package, color, even ingredient, and moreover the price. If everything is same, then that kind of goods are called as a homogeneous goods and for uniform prices. Uniform in the sense they are not uniform. Uniform in the sense which have a same prices. And wherever you find this kind of a market, then that is called a perfect market competition. Now coming to the first one, it's a market situation. It's a market in the sense you better understand the word called market, where there is the existence of a large number of buyers and sellers who buy and sell the goods and services which is produced by the firm and industry who produce and sell them. Then that is called a market. And that is a market situation where there is an existence of large number of buyers and sellers. Then it is a different from all these types of market. Large number of buyer and seller stands here. There are the n number of suppliers are there, and at the same time n number of buyers are there. And no single seller will control the market. No single buyer will influence the market. It means it's a market situation where it is filled with the huge amount of sellers huge amount of buyers. It is different from monopoly. It means here the single seller will control, but here how many sellers? All the sellers will control. In duopoly, two seller, oligopoly, few seller, monopolistic, many seller. If this is the case, this is a completely different from this is a market. In all this market, you will find a differentiated goods, different prices, different color, different everything different, like differentiated goods, heterogeneous goods. But here, when it comes to the perfect market, there is the existence of large number of buyers and sellers who buy and sell. Homogeneous. Do you find any of this kind of a market where there is the existence of same to same, type of good and the services? Anyone, please? In realistic world, this market will not exist. But somewhere, some extent, we can find this kind of a market, homogeneous goods that for uniform prices. Now coming to the point, all of you, listen carefully. Have you heard about the petrol? Okay. This is a market where there is the existence of large number of sellers, bunkers, petrol bunksmen. Okay. And there are a number of buyers are there. You, me, everyone is a buyer. Okay. Are they going to sold yellow color petrol, green color petrol, okay, pink color petrol? The petrol is same, the quantity is same, even the price is also same in a state, okay, that may be different from some other state, but when it comes to the state, the price will be same. So there are the n number of sellers are there who sell homogeneous type of petrol and the diesel, which is not different from one petrol bunk to another petrol. In the parallel market, that might be exist with the different adding of some of these, some of some malpractice of products will be, might exist. But in reality, we can take some extent petroleum, that's a petrol bunk, and the buyers will come under the perfect market competition within the state. Are we clear? Likewise, cotton. Okay, farmers may produce. Okay, and it exists in the market some around in the same prices, cotton prices. Okay, then that extent, some extent it will come under the perfect market competition. So coming to the point now, then what will be the features of this market? There are the n number of features are there of this market. You need to understand one by one. Then how it is different from imperfect market or non-competitive market. So why it is called as a perfect market? Then what is a perfect in essence? Perfect with regard to price, perfect with regard to the quantity, quality, size, package, color, design, everything. Then that's the point which comes under the perfect market competition. So once again, it's a type of market situation where there is the existence of large number of buyers and sellers who buy and sell homogeneous goods that to for a uniform prices. If that is the case, then at the same time, you people need to understand features or characteristics of this market. Coming to the first one, for features. Okay, first one, existence of a large number of buyers and sellers. Second feature, that is homogeneous goods and uniform prices. Okay, free entry and exit of firms from industry. Free entry and exit of firms from industry. Fourth one, perfect knowledge. Okay. Next one, free mobility of factors of production, Then no transport cost, no transport and other costs. Seventh one, no promotional cost, neither selling cost. And the last one, existence of normal profit. So these are the important 8 features are there of a perfect market competition. Let's have a discussion one by one. Okay. First one, there is existence of large number of buyers and sellers. As we discussed, this is a market where it is filled with the n number of buyers and n number of sellers. Okay. In this sellers, neither single seller will influence the market supply, neither single buyer will influence the demand. The entire demand and supply is controlled by invisible hands or invisible forces, which we used to call it as aggregate demand and aggregate supply. Here the prices were decided by the invisible forces, which we cannot see, but the forces are controlling both the aspects of the market. Then that is called demand as well as supply. So let's take an example of petrol. Okay, here the petrol, even if you possess some 10 petrol bunks or 100 petrol bunks, you will not going to fix the price of the petrol. Okay, neither on stock of petrol supply from your side will control the complete market supply of the petrol. Neither if a buyer rejects your petrol, it doesn't mean that demand will going to affect much. So where the entire n number of sellers and the n number of buyers who are exist in the market, they cannot influence the market because they are acting as a price takers. They are not price makers, they are price takers. Are we clear? Now, once again, so in this market, there is no place for a single seller can influence the market. So he has to accept the price which is set by the industry or the market demand and supply forces. So there is the existence of large number of buyers and sellers who has to accept the price which is set by the industry. So first one. Second one, there is the existence of homogeneous goods and the uniform prices. Now coming to the point, homogeneous goods and uniform prices stands here, as we already discussed. Homogeneous stands here, the outer ingredient, the image of the product, the quantity, quality, size, color, and even price should be same from one product to another product. For example, we have two types of petrol bunks here. One is Hindustan Petroleum, next one Bharat Petroleum, okay, Indian Oil something, okay, XYZ petrols are there. And it doesn't mean that one petrol which is measured in kilograms, one petrol is measured in liters. Then that is not quite possible. The measuring, the prices, so 1 liter there should be 86 rupee, then there should be an 86 rupee. So one cannot charge, I am providing additional facility for the buyers, I will charge 120 rupee per liter, then that is not possible. Because here the prices and the type of a good, everything should be same. Then that is what existence of homogeneous goods and uniform prices. Next one, free entry and exit of firms from the industry. Now listen carefully. Any far better you understand, firm is different, industry is different. Firm is a part of the industry. Okay. Now let me clarify here. Firm is a type of a business which is running under the type of industry, and industry is a group of same firms. Here, any firm can enter into the industry, any firm can exit from the industry. On entry of any of the firm, they'll never get any kind of a huge benefit. Not when they exit from the industry, they're not going to lose anything. So, on entry, there is no benefit. On exit, there is no loss. Anyone can enter, anyone can exit, because people will find their own way of getting the things when it comes to the perfect market competition. Now, coming to the next one, perfect knowledge. When it comes to the perfect market competition, both buyers and sellers have a perfect knowledge regarding the prices, the quality, the product, the availability, the stock, supply, and in the same place at different prices. Everything is easily known by all the buyers as well as sellers, but it is not possible in case of a monopoly. Okay, where a single seller have a complete price maker, and he is a decision maker, and he is a profit maker too, and there is no place for knowledge regarding the complete all the types of products and services in case of the imperfect market. So when it comes to the perfect market, each seller and each buyer will know the complete knowledge about the market conditions regarding price, place, everything. Okay. Now coming to the next one, free mobility of factors of production. We know the factors of production. We discussed much about it. The factors of production stands here: land, labor, capital, organization, and material, everything. Okay. Here, by excluding land, all the factors can freely movable from one place to another place in the same market, and there is no place for a lack of the factors of production. It is assumed that availability of factors of production are freely available, means one can easily access from one place to another place or a different place in the same market. Then that is called availability of factors of production. There is a existence of it at ease level. Okay, now coming to the next one, no transportation costs and other costs. In this perfect market competition, whatever the goods are there, homogeneous goods, the sellers cannot add their own transportation costs or personal costs or private costs or any other social costs to the product. Whatever the cost is there, whatever the price the market has been set, then for that price only they have to sold. They cannot add their own charges in like petrol. Okay, so petrol is there. Okay, fine, good. Bringing of the petrol from the different places and the transportation cost, additional cost, dumping cost and all, they cannot add to the petrol. Everything is added with the margin. In such case, so they are not supposed to add in their own margin cost in that. And coming to the next one, promotional cost, neither selling cost. In the perfect market competition or perfect competitive market, whatever the goods will come, the homogeneous nature, they are not supposed to add their promotional cost. They are not supposed to add their advertisement cost. You will never find anywhere advertisement regarding petrol. So petrol, you use only Hindustan Petroleum. They may give the lubricants, but not the petrol. Do you find anywhere regarding advertisement about the petrol, use of this petrol, Hindustan Petroleum, Bharat Petroleum? Like what you want to observe the advertisement regarding the paste, the cosmetics, okay, any kind of the facial creams and all. Likewise, you'll never find any kind of advertisement regarding petrol, because there is no place for promotional cost, neither advertisement cost to be added. So whatever the price which is set by the industry, for that price one has to accept. So here all the sellers and the buyers will acting as a price takers. And even there is existence of a normal profit. So as we know that any firm can enter, any firm exit from the industry, it means whatever the prices are there which is set by the industry, they have to accept the price. They cannot charge their own prices, their own costs, their own other expenses to the price of a product. So whatever the price is there, they have to accept the price. For that price only they have to make a trade. In such case, there is no place for abnormal profits. There is existence of only normal profit for all the sellers. If this is the case, then if you wanted to put it the same revenue concepts, like revenue concepts called TR, AR and MR, what we discussed yesterday. So if you wanted to put under this category of perfect market competition, then what will be the application part of the revenue in connection with the perfect market competition, that the thing will discuss. Okay, but before that, is there any doubts you can ask regarding any of the feature? So as we discussed, there is the existence of these features. So first one, large number of buyers and sellers, homogeneous goods and uniform prices, free entry and exit of the firms from industry, then free mobility of factors of production, existence of perfect knowledge to the buyers and sellers, and there is no place for either transport or other costs and all. Okay. At the same time, all these things will make much difference when it comes